Hello, MF Kraven here, and welcome to Less Than 10 Minute Reviews, a YouTube series where I take a look at niche titles, hidden gems, and often overlooked games to tell you whether or not you should buy them in less than 10 minutes. So if that's the type of content that you like, consider subscribing and liking this video. Today I take a look at New Cycle, a city-building game set in a post-apocalyptic world where you must help rebuild society. But will New Cycle be up to the task and help humanity? Or is it another overly ambitious city-building game? Let's find out. We start with the graphics, sound, and art style. Personally, the graphics, setting, and soundtrack all came together for me, combining a beautifully somber tone with a sense of hope. It's dark, it's gritty, and yet sometimes I found the beauty in all of the destruction. Gameplay. Set in the near future, a world ravaged by solar flares and unstable weather, New Cycle makes you start building from less than desirable beginnings to a bustling, work-oriented combine. You're given mayorship and about 30 people that trust you to delegate what to do and where they should live. You're given 3 maps as of now to play with, more on the way. Each map presents its own difficult micromanagement. Personally, before placing the city hall, I look at the water, wind, mining, fertility, and drilling layers, then base, where I'm gonna more or less build back society. Building a gathering hut and assigning people to forage. Whales to help gather the nectar of life, water. A field camp to chop down wood and mine for ore or stone. Seriously, back to basics type of gameplay. The main difference is that you go through quote-unquote cycles upon meeting certain requirements, like certain population growth, technologies researched, or building requirements met. The technology tree seems small at first, but it becomes robust the more time you spend in-game. It's a sort of, you can't unlock this without unlocking that, and it felt at times I just needed time to pass by before I can actually progress. And that's the same with the cycle mechanic. It's all about trial and error, and at one point I made the mistake of keeping my people so sick I completely relied on the children and foreigners coming to my village. Price, $30 USD. How many hours estimated? I played about 20 years in-game, and that was around 7 hours. I felt like I simultaneously was there for a long time and like I barely dipped my feet, if that makes any sense. But is it playable on Steam Deck? While it is playable on Steam Deck, the frame rate is a little wonky and ultimately it works a lot better on mouse and keyboard. I'd suggest against taking New Cycle on the road and just playing it at home, but you can do it if you want to. Final thoughts. New Cycle is a deceptive game. Initially, I felt overwhelmed by everything it had to offer. Most of my people were dying and I didn't know how to help them out. Until I did, by raising their morale and giving them adequate housing, tools, etc. It would raise their morale and they'd feel more comfortable having kids. More outsiders would hear about our village and want to join in. Eventually, the jigsaw just fell into place. So why deceptive? Well, because when you get the hang of things, it just becomes a waiting game, like I said a couple of minutes ago. I was excited and I was having fun because I figured out the meta, but then it felt like just busy work. Oh, more people, need more food, have more hunters, more kitchens. Wow, no more power? Make another coal power plant because windmill just not enough. You know, it's that kind of New Cycle then just feels like the cousin of Frostpunk. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, it just makes me want to boot Frostpunk up again. And I know what you may be thinking, well that's not fair, New Cycle's an early access game. But when a game that comes out nearly 6 years after, and it gets compared to it, I feel like not enough innovation went into it. But that being said though, I love the aesthetic, the feel, the lore, and the overall sense of dread that New Cycle brings. And like I said, I had spurs of fun. I didn't like getting the exact same requests and events that happen around the exact same time in 2 different playthroughs in different maps. I'd love some variety, especially as both of the games that I started up were sandbox games. I love the scouting mechanic too, by the way, and how you can send workers to gather resources if you've depleted yours. But in future updates, I'd love to visit those outposts to see the devastation left behind by the solar flares. The game's been out for a little over a month, and we've already received 5 patches with a roadmap ahead as well. So that sounds promising. To end this review, New Cycle is a game I want to love, but I only sort of like as of now. It has the bones and then it has the potential of being an awesome experience, but there's a feeling like there's much of the game missing. So for now, I give New Cycle a wait for sale. At $30 USD for what you get, I'd wait for a couple more updates. And I'm sure that before the end of the year, it's probably going to be done. But if you can pick it up for about 20 before it releases to 1.0, I'd say it's worth at least the 20 bucks. Wait for sale. I just want to add one more thing. The OST for New Cycle is underrated as hell. It's probably one of the best soundtracks that I've ever heard in my life. You guys need to listen to it. I'll put a link in the description down below and judge for yourself.